Meghan has time to post 4-year-old twerking videos and promote rosé or jam, but no time to acknowledge a man who gave her so much. The more she speaks, the louder the accusations of narcissism get.
When they showed up the way that they knew how, I'm like, okay, that's who you are, and I understand that. And I made the choice whether I was going to continue to be your friend or be in this moment with you or not.
Tyler Perry just made a move that has everyone talking, and Meghan Markle is right at the center of it. The man who once gave her protection and privacy is now sending signals, and they're impossible to ignore. So what exactly changed? What does Tyler know that we don't? And why does it feel like he's trying to say something without actually saying it? Before we break this down and reveal the signs hiding in plain sight, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because what's coming? It's bigger than you think. Let's rewind to early 2020. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle had just made headlines around the world with their announcement to step back from their royal roles.
Prince Harry has just publicly addressed the decision by him and his wife Meghan to leave their royal lives behind.
The decision was bold, controversial, and triggered a global media frenzy. Overnight, their status within the royal family changed, along with everything that came with it. Shortly after the announcement, they left the UK and spent a brief time in Canada. But that chapter didn't last long. Their location was exposed by the press, and their security detail, once provided by the British government, was suddenly pulled.
Lawyers for the couple claim the photos from here were taken without her consent and that the photographer was hiding in the bushes and spying on her. They also allege photographers have been camped outside the property they've been staying at, using long-range lenses to try to get shots inside the $14 million mansion.
For the couple, especially with a young son, Archie, the situation became urgent. They needed safety, privacy, and distance from the chaos. That's when Tyler Perry entered the picture. Though not publicly close to the couple before this moment, Perry reached out. He offered them a private place to stay, his own sprawling mansion in Beverly Hills, California. Not only that, he also provided them with a full security team, something they no longer had after leaving their royal roles. The home was a 22-acre estate, secluded and protected, exactly what Harry and Meghan needed at the time.
Yeah, it was a very difficult time for them. And what I know about the two of them, and I wish the world knew how much they love these two people love each other. They found each other out of all these odds against them finding each other, they found each other. And the love that they have is really, really moving. And I just wanted to do anything I could to support them.
In their interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021, Meghan spoke candidly about how much that support meant. She described Perry as stepping in when they had no plan, no home, and no security. His help, she said, gave them a safe space to regroup and figure out their next steps. They lived in Perry's home for several months, from early 2020 until they moved into their own house in Montecito, California, later that year. During their time in his home, the couple remained largely out of the public eye. There were no major interviews, no press statements, just silence and recovery. This period was a turning point. It marked the transition from royal life in the UK to private life in the US, and Perry played a significant role in making that transition possible. He wasn't just a host. He was a protector and provider during one of the most uncertain moments in their lives.
You know, I never knew I would know a prince and a princess. That wasn't even what that was about. What I was reaching out to her for was because they were giving her hell. Right. And a lot of it was because she was a black woman.
Absolutely.
And I flat out, no denying it, I completely knew that. And I wanted to reach out and let her know that there was somebody there for her. And I sent her a note, and not expecting anything to come of it. And she said, thank you so much. And that was it. And a couple of years later, we started talking, and she was able to talk. And the only reason I'm sharing this is because she shared it first.
Okay. Yeah.
And we were able to talk, and she was telling me some of the things that were going on, and I'm just so proud of where they are now, because I'm gonna tell you something. Those two people love each other. I don't care what anybody says. I'm seeing it up close, and you can't fool me.
Yeah.
I got the Holy Ghost. Okay. You can't fool me. I know what's real. They really genuinely love each other. So I'm just so happy to see where they are now. But
though their relationship was mostly private, Meghan and Harry have publicly thanked Perry for his kindness and generosity. It all began with a single call. And for a brief period, Tyler Perry became one of the most important people in their new post-royal journey. But what happens when the helper needs help? Recently, Perry had found himself in the middle of several personal and professional challenges. His growing media empire, including his massive Atlanta studio, faced mounting pressure in the wake of Hollywood's changing landscape. Several of his projects were delayed or restructured. Online, critics began dissecting his work more aggressively, questioning his creative choices and influence.
Actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over sexual harassment allegations. The complaint filed in Los Angeles accuses Perry of creating a, quote, coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with actor Derek Dixon. Dixon was in two of Tyler Perry's shows, The Oval and Ruthless. In a statement to NBC News, Perry's team says this appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam, calling the allegations fabricated claims. Let's bring in NBC's Stephen Romo, who's following this. Stephen, what more do we know about the allegations here?
Yeah, Tom, just going through those allegations in this lawsuit seeking $260 million in damages, alleging sexual harassment, assault, retaliation as well. The direct details include inappropriate touching. As you mentioned, Dixon starred in The Oval with Tyler Perry.
The praise that once filled his comment sections started to fade, replaced with harsher tones and louder opinions. Privately, there were rumors that Tyler had gone through a deeply emotional period, struggling with the weight of always being the strong one, always being the fixer. And during this quiet storm, people began to notice something. Meghan Markle was nowhere to be seen. No public shout-outs, no interviews praising him the way she once had. No supportive appearance, even as Tyler had once stood silently behind her, offering his entire home and staff when she had nowhere to go. For someone who had called him like family, even referring to him as a father figure, the silence was noticeable, deafening even. Insiders began to whisper that Tyler expected nothing but felt everything. That while he didn't ask Meghan for public validation or a show of loyalty, he had hoped she might acknowledge his struggles, the way he had so gracefully stepped into hers. But that moment never came.
Meghan Markle is in crisis after a series of epic disasters, including the total failure of her tell-all interview with Emma Grede, sex assault allegations against her BFF and Lilibet's godfather, no less, Tyler Perry, and now this from her allies at People magazine, her favorite publication, which has gone public on Kate's summer of strength. Writing, there are some major shifts coming. As Princess Kate privately rebuilds after a year of cancer treatment, she's stepping out with a new purpose and the poise of a queen in waiting. Nothing's working, and People magazine, which she has just spent the past 2 years coveting, has decided to become Team Catherine all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how things are shifting continually, always shifting to the downfall.
And while Meghan continued to build her brand, launching podcasts, making public appearances, and expanding her influence, Tyler remained on the sidelines, handling his challenges quietly and without the fanfare he'd once extended to her. And that's when he started speaking out about Meghan and her dirty secrets. According to what Tyler shared with close friends, Meghan saw the exit as a golden opportunity. She knew that walking away from royalty would be the biggest story in the world, and she wanted to be at the center of it. She wanted to rebrand, to break free, but not quietly. She wanted an explosion, a headline that would shake the system. And what better way than Meghan and Harry leave the royal family? It wasn't just about freedom, it was about impact. Now, long before Tyler also mentioned that Meghan orchestrated the timing, she helped draft the original statement. She pushed Harry to act fast to get ahead of the palace. While he wrestled with guilt and confusion, she had already moved on to preparing the next step: media interviews, Netflix talks, and podcast deals. The plan was already unfolding before the decision even went public, but the deception didn't stop there.
What I've learned to understand is that my life got so much better when I let people be who they are. When I stopped expecting them to show up the way that I wanted them to or needed them to, when they showed up the way that they knew how, I'm like, okay, that's who you are, and I understand that. And I made the choice whether I was going to continue to be your friend or be in this moment with you or not.
While staying in Tyler's home, she had reportedly been in quiet talks with a production company about releasing exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, some of which included private moments inside Perry's mansion. He had offered that home as a safe haven, a no-media zone. And now, he discovered it had nearly become part of her content empire. Not only that, but Tyler also exposed Meghan's financial baggage, and he chose one of the most high-profile stages in Hollywood to do it, the 2025 BET Awards. Without naming names, he spoke about betrayal, manipulation, and people who enter your life only when it benefits them. He reflected on how some people come into your world just for a while, not to grow with you, but to take what they can and leave once they've gotten what they need. It was clear to everyone who he was referring to. This was no longer just a story of a friendship gone cold. This was Tyler's way of finally confronting the damage done. Now Meghan has always been in a lot of trouble lately, but this time, the walls seem to be closing in faster than ever. Insiders close to the situation suggest that her former allies have grown quiet, or worse, distant. Hollywood doors that once flung open with excitement now crack open more cautiously. That's it for today's video, but now we want to hear from you. Do you think Tyler exposing Meghan was long overdue? And was Meghan really seeking freedom? Or just headlines? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.